Now, let that sink in just a minute. If he's mayor of North Little Rock over the whole USA and he's carrying the global agenda, the UN agenda, if he's carrying that, what state do you think that he really wants to ram stuff down our throats in and set a standard? What state has he got to be accountable to? Arkansas.
Oklahoma, nobody likes that.
Oklahoma too, but since he lives in Little Rock, North Little Rock, I think that he might want to really try to pull some stunts, don't you? He would be a guy to look out for if he's carrying the agenda, the UN agenda. Now here's what we need to do in closing. Okay, we've got to go to our city council meetings. Now let me just say this one. I'm not talking foreign courts just yet, so JP's calm down. Let's go to our local city council, and we're going to start listening, and I'll talk about this at some other point about what you're going to listen for. But watershed policies, private property, eminent domain, you don't think the land that borders up against the Corps of Engineers, you don't think they're going to try to increase that perimeter and back off property? I remember yesterday, Glenn Beck, I was in shock, but Utah's in a fight because the federal government has 60% of that land. And they're going to try to control it. And this is going to be a battle, big time, over private property because we're the only country in the whole world that has private property. Without private property, you have no ability to create wealth. That's right. So we're going to go to our city council meeting, and we're going to say, are you paying dues to ICLEI? Are you paying dues? I sent an FOIA request, and I can give you an example and give you the letter so you don't have to worry about coming up with the words or terminology or the verbiage of it. And you guys can just copy it and put in your area, your local Conway area, and say, hey, we want to know if you're paying dues to ICLEI. Well, it costs several $1,000s to join. I think Pulaski County paid around $6,000 to join ICLEI. And then they paid $1,200, and I've got it right here, $1,200 a year to belong. Here's my FOIA request. I thought, well, let me just take a look at this, Mr. Hayes, and let me send you a letter so you can see it for yourself.
What authority do they join?
Well, see, as you know, they are bypassing the legislature, and just like czars, we've got the same thing going on here, and they're doing things right under your nose locally here at the city council meeting and foreign court that you don't even know anything about. And the mayoral conferences, they're clued in. They have a yearly conference too. They're clued in. It is. Now here's the letter that I sent to Mr. Hayes. You're all welcome to give it back to me, but you can pass it around and take a look. And here's the last thing that I want to say. We're going to attend our city council meeting. We're going to ask them to stop paying dues to ICLEI if they are even considering it. Now I know there's three places in Arkansas, North Little Rock, Pulaski County, and Fayetteville are all big time members. They've been going green for quite some time. That's why the stimulus money, by the way, went to build up the infrastructures. It went to Little Rock and some of your bigger cities because the people in the rural areas are in trouble. And I don't have time to, I'd like to take you step by step on how this is going to go, but I don't have time tonight. But we're going to ask them to remove any policies in our community that has to do with ICLEI. Any policies, and I can train everybody on what policies to look for. And you pass out these copies, just get a little petition going to as many citizens as you can. This does not have to go through Dustin McDaniels, our Attorney General. This is just a community petition that says, we want to know if you're considering any UN policies locally. And it's called Local Agenda 21. We just want to know. You have a right to know, right? You're going to get as many people to sign it as you can, and you take these petitions to the city council, and then you have a firestorm of protest. Now see, we're going to have to back up just a little bit as Tea Party people and learn how to go locally and protest. And all you have to do, if you don't want to yell and you're not extroverted like I am, all you have to do is say, "Stop UN policies." Just make a little sign up with a magic marker. And that'll do it. That'll scare them. Seriously. And then, you know what, it'll cause some of the aldermen to go, "What are you talking about? Maybe I need to get educated on what I'm allowing to come through this council." Maybe they need to be trained. Because I'm telling you, I know some of the legislators did. Okay, the end.
Am I hooked up? Yeah. I was going to, let's let Jeannie take a few questions from the floor. So we'll just entertain some questions for about the next 5 minutes. And then I thought that was very good, great information. And I'd like to be able to invite her back for that seminar. So yeah, that's something I will take a few questions and then we'll jump into the rest of it.